so many people have been doing this this foursome that I missed the first one about the controllers. But I'm kind of glad that I didn't do that, because my favorite controller is basically the Commodore 64 thing that I had, the square one with the 2 buttons, micro switch. That was it. But bygones. My 4 most cherished games. And why do they have to be on 4 different platforms? That does not make it easier. But it makes it more of a challenge, which is nice. So, my first one, that has to be Crazy Kong 2. I've talked about that game before. It's an arcade game, so I'm not sure if that counts, but it does for me. It's an officially licensed port, licensed by Nintendo, based on Donkey Kong, but the level order is different, and there are different sounds. But it's basically the same game. But it's Crazy Kong, and it's the arcade. It's the very first arcade game that I saw, that I played, that I learned that you had to put in money to play a game. That was all mind-boggling to me at that time, but it has to be that game. So it's sort of our version of Donkey Kong. It's Crazy Kong on the arcade. I have that PCB sitting in my game cabinet right there. Second, I was thinking of another weird platform, and that is the Game & Watch platform, if I may be so bold. And I was thinking, which game am I going to choose? Because there were a couple that are cherished. There's this one, which is, you can't see it, but it's Alien. And you have to move a little flying saucer across the screen without the comets hitting it. This was the first handheld game that I ever saw. My friend Peter bought this. $50, I can remember. And I got it later. This is by Mini Arcade. I'm pretty sure that the original wasn't by Mini Arcade, but anyway, it was made in Hong Kong, and it's very complete, this one. So, but this is not the game that I meant, because I could have gone with Plane and Tank. The bridge and the little tank, and as airplanes, they throw bombs down, and you have to get to the other side, but the bridge is open or closed, whatever. I could have chosen that one, but I'm not going with that one. My second favorite game is Sea Ranger, because this is the game that I actually had and that I played a lot. You're a little like a sailor in a little rowboat, and you have to get across and catch a rope to climb up, but there's a ship, there are coconuts, there's a bird trying to get you. I played this a lot. So Sea Ranger, Game & Watch. Third most cherished game, it has to be a Commodore 64 title. If you hadn't said 4 different systems, Chris, then I would have gone for at least 3 Commodore titles, because there are so many. But I'm gonna choose one. I'm gonna go with Bruce Lee, and I'm gonna go with that game because I still think it's great, but I can very much remember the feeling that game gave me. It was sort of a mystery. I mean, it's an action game. It's not really a platformer, although there's platform elements in it. It's sort of a puzzle game, and it's sort of an exploration game. But the graphics, they were so Japanese, you know. I don't know. And there was fighting, and I was totally convinced that this little guy was Bruce Lee. So Bruce Lee on the Commodore 64. I still play that game. I have some gameplays of that up on my my channel. Love that game. My fourth game that is my most cherished game, and as hard as the choice is, because there's not going to be any consoles. I have many PS3 games and many PS2 games and GameCube games, but I'm going to go with Elite Dangerous, which is a very new game, and it's a PC game. But as I've said before, I've never been so immersed in a game, and I've never bought so much stuff to play one game. it's great. It's just awesome, and that's it. I mean, it has to be in the list now. Ask me again in a year, and I may think differently, but those first three, they're not going to change, I think. So, Crazy Kong 2 by Falcon, which was a UK-based company, by the way. Sea Ranger, handheld, Game & Watch. Bruce Lee on the Commodore 64, and Elite Dangerous on PC. That's it. Great series, Chris. I love it. I love that you're doing this. I could never do this, so keep going. I wonder what the next foursome is going to be, and I wonder if there's going to be nudeness in it. So, bye.